Welcome to the Make course. I'm Rudi Schlaf, a professor at the Department of Electrical Engineering at the University of South Florida. This video is about using self-tapping screws in 3D printed projects. Here you see the parts that I designed in my previous video. So there the task was to create an alignment feature and bolt two parts together in a precisely aligned way, and that's what you see here. So I used a machine screw with a M3 hex nut at the end, and that makes a really nice and strong bond between the two parts. But often it is difficult to place such a nut at the other end of the bolt, since sometimes the parts are simply too big, and so you would need a very long bolt. So in this video I want to show you how to make this connection between the two parts that I just showed you with so-called self-tapping screws. So what's a self-tapping screw? Essentially it is a screw that is able to cut its own threads into a softer piece of material. They work really well in plastic like we get it from 3D printers, but they're also great for wood and plexiglass and things like that. And before we get started here, I just want to define two parameters of these screws. One is the bolt diameter. That's very similar to the machine screw that I used in the previous video. So this is essentially the diameter of the entire construction of the screw. So it goes from the outside on one side to the outside of the threads on the other side. Now, the shaft diameter, which is important for self-tapping screws, that is the diameter of the shaft that holds the threads in place. Now, if you look at these threads here, they are shaped a little bit like a knife edge, and the purpose of that is, of course, that they can cut their own threads into the material. Now, I prefer this kind of a self-tapping screw that have a flat head. I pointed out already in the previous video that the 45-degree angle is really a magic angle for 3D printing, and these screws, they typically have a 45-degree angle of this head. And so the great advantage of these is that you can print the part in pretty much any direction, and you will get a decent recess for these heads. And then the hex head, that is of course another great thing because they make it much easier to bolt them in with a hex driver. Okay, so what do we need to change in our design now to use such self-tapping screws? So in part A, we need to make a hole that has about the bolt diameter, a little bit larger, that is a little bit larger than the bolt diameter, so the bolt goes through loosely but still fairly tightly. And in part B, then of course we need a smaller hole, so we have a little bit of plastic here where the threads can be cut into by the bolt. And this hole here needs to be about of the shaft diameter, just a tad larger than the shaft diameter. So to get this right, of course, you need to experiment again a little bit with your particular 3D printer because they all spill out a little bit differently when they make small features, and so the diameter here varies. So do a few test prints and then you have a good number for a particular bolt that you can then reuse all over your project. One more word where to get these screws. For some reason they are not very popular in the US. I usually buy them on AliExpress, and in fact this picture here I took from a vendor where I previously bought bolts like this here. You can get them within 2 weeks if you select ePacket as a shipping method. Okay, time for a demonstration. So here you see the project from the last video where I used the hex nut at the end of a machine screw to bolt together these two parts. So in this video now I want to change this over to a self-tapping screw design. And so for this here we should go back to that hole and start redesigning from that hole. And this here is of course now the hole that I made for the machine screw, so it goes all the way through the part. And A great way to make features for self-tapping screws is to use simply two hole features, one for part A and one for part B, because we need different diameters, as I just showed you on the previous slide. And so all I need to do here now to change this hole for part A, that the self-tapping bolts can still go through, is the depth of the hole. And here I will turn off one of those parts, so I delete them, and then I simply select this here. And once I click OK, we have now a hole that only goes through part A, and so we can check that here with the half section view. So you see here now that the hole just goes down to where part B starts. And so this hole here now has 3.7 millimeters in diameter. That's perfect for a 3 millimeter self-tapping screw. But of course now we need to make the smaller hole that has the shaft diameter in part B. And so for this we reuse the sketch that I made for the hole here by turning on its visibility. So now, if you remember, we need a point to place a hole, and so now we have this point visible, so we can use it in the 3D model ribbon here, and by selecting the hole feature, and we select this point. And of course now we need to select the other body because that's where we want that narrower hole. And because we know how long the screw is, we can now select here as termination a length of a bolt length, and my bolts here are 16 millimeters. So the one that I'm going to use here is 16 millimeter. So I usually make a plus 1 millimeter hole, and the diameter on my printer for a 3 millimeter self-tapping bolt, it turned out that 2.8 millimeters is quite perfect for that. And so now I just say OK here, and now you see how we have here a wide hole permitting the bolt, and then this more narrow hole where the bolt can cut its own threads into the plastic that's around this hole here. Okay, and with this we're almost done. We just need to now fix our file here. So let me put this end of project marker to the end. And of course it complains now because this extrusion here for the hex nut is still there. So, but we can of course just delete this and the sketch that I used to make it. And so this is cleaned up now. And so the next thing is now, before I print this, we need to think what are the surfaces that connect to the printer bed, to the printer plate. And since I got rid of the hex nut here, we can now print this part B actually from this surface instead from this surface. And so I'm going to change over the fillet to this side because we need it now on this end in order to get a clean bottom end of this part. So this is the fillet that I need to change over, so I simply delete this now, and let me turn off the half section view, and I want to turn off this solid. So, and now it's time to put that fillet on there. So I can use the loop and select this here, and remember 1 millimeter is a pretty good starting point for getting a perfect bottom end of a part. Remember, the printers always squeeze out here a little bit of plastic at the bottom, so this is why I put these 1 millimeter fillets around in order to combat that, and so that makes the part really nice at the bottom end. So let's apply this here, And now this part is ready to be put on the printer plate. So let me export this as a STL file, and so I'm gonna overwrite the one that I have here already. Yes, and now let's do the other one. And here the situation did not change, right? So we have the fillet around this end, because here we have the alignment feature protruding, and of course for that reason we cannot use this here to this surface to connect with the printer bed, so we need to use this here. So here it's all good, so we can just save it, export it, and this here is solid 2. So, and okay, and now we are ready to print these parts, and let me do that and I'll be back. Okay, here we are about 50 minutes later. You see the two parts and the bolt. And so one hole is small, the other is a little bit bigger, and the smaller hole is just of a size that allows this bolt to cut its own threads into it, and the other hole is large enough that it easily goes through. And so the smaller hole needs to be in a way that it's a little bit tough to get that bolt in, so that you need to use a little bit of force, and that ensures that you have a durable and very solid bond. So this can be as strong as the bond with the M3 nut, but of course you cannot unbolt and bolt this together many times, because over time, if you do this a few cycles, the self-tapped hole will wear out, and then at some point the bond will not be very strong anymore, and then you will need to reprint that part B that has the smaller hole. But if you just do this once, this can be very durable bonds between parts. Now you know how to use self-tapping screws for bolting two parts together in 3D printed projects. Thanks for watching.